I cheated on my wife, but how do I know if God wants me to reconcile or to just move on? So I cheated on my wife and was caught for it about 5 months ago, and I just wanted to know if anyone could share any biblical opinions that could give me some advice on what should I do. For context to why I'm the fence on whether I should reconcile or move on even though I'm the one who cheated. So me and my wife has been having trouble for some time. Now it seems as if arguments were spamming out of nowhere. We both were young when we gotten married. She's 17 turning 18 and I had just turned 19. She's 21 and I'm 22 RN. But even then we had problems. Just petty arguments, misunderstanding were always the highlight of the day. I'm in the military, so that's one of the main reasons we got married so early, because I was so in love with her that I didn't want to do long distance. But there was so many red flags present in her that I looked over and thought, maybe the distance was making us so argumentative, but it wasn't that she just naturally argumentative, and not to nitpick her problems because I do believe she's a sweet girl and I had my issues as well, but here's an example of one of our petty arguments we had. She held a pair of my pants up. I'm 6 feet 3 inches and she's 5 feet 6 inches, and I told her she couldn't fit it. She then slammed the door and sat in my car and cried. And I was confused because I meant that the pants were too long, but her mom was in the room with us and talked to me, and I realized she thought I was calling her fat. She is thicker, but me personally I love that, but I spent the whole day apologizing for that. But I stopped being so nice after each argument. Months go by and I finally had enough. I told her I'm going to send her back home and that we were going to have a divorce, but this argument was different. She started name-calling and being very irrational, and I made up in my mind that I'm finally done, but then she called her mother, say I don't love her and stuff, and then her asked to talk to me. We were driving at the time. So I pulled over to talk to her, and her basically said, I know y'all young, but I have to apologize to her and speak from my heart, which I did. But I tried to divorce she 4 times, and each lead to some serious. The time second she said she was going to off herself. Third time she slammed the door on my face and I punched the door, breaking my hand. The broken hand is my fault, grinning face with sweat IG. And third time there was a situation she was texting a guy. That's a story for itself, I don't feel like typing it. And fourth time she grabbed the wheel while I was driving, but all the results lead to us making up. She either apologize on time past to I just let it. But I loved her to death. But it seems to me like she's never going to change. I see the pattern for what it was, and I got tired of it, but I never had the ability to leave. I hate seeing women cry, so I knew that I was going to be with her forever. She also had this obsession with having friends, and I can understand that with her being a girl in a new place. She came from Maryland to Oklahoma, but that began to become her personality. Any part of our relationships that was healthy began to be taken away by her friend. She's a caring, loving person and away won't be that light for people, and that's fine if it's with me, but she wanted to be that to everybody but me, and I started becoming insecure. I that wanting to be around my wife and rather stayed at work, and that's when I would talk to this female coworker, and she made me feel good. She always seemed to be interested to what I was saying and even made me food and I liked it, and when I came home I started comparing my wife to the coworker and realized how much better she treated, and TBH I wasn't even attracted to her, but later on got together and had sex. But my coworker got sent back home because her contract was over, but I got addicted to the feeling of, I guess, being loved, and I realized that women are really nice to men in the early stages of a relationship, so I got on a dating sites to look for another woman, and found one, and she was the same way, and I ended having sex with her too, and I asked my wife for a last divorce, but my wife caught on and texted both of the women, and they confirm it. So my wife confronted me about it, and she was angry. What makes sense? Then I got angry and in my ego and didn't care. But that's when I felt rush of the sin wearing off. I became guilt and texted my wife apologizing. I cut off the women. I hated the man I became, but she was still angry and now wants the divorce. The guilt was unbearable. I never thought I would cheat on someone, and to make it worse I felt justified doing it, but I realized my mistake and thought it's too late for reconciliation, and I tried to off myself 3 different ways. I even told her mother, but she said that my wife was the only one trying to fix our marriage, and she disappointing in me. That genuinely broke my heart. I tried my best. I just wanted to end my exist. But I started going back to church and got my mind semi-right and started doing everything in my power to reconcile with my wife. But it seems she wants revenge, and I can understand that. She called my job and told them I wasn't supporting her. They said I have to send her $350 a month. Called the police on me. They opened a case to possibly arrest me. And more recently I drove to her apartment complex to get my name off the lease, and my wife parked her car close to the leasing office recording me going into her leasing office, cursing at me, saying I'm harassing her. I didn't respond because I realized what card she was trying to play. But I'm at my wit end. I forgive her genuinely, and if she doesn't forgive me, I understand. But I don't know what to do. She says she wants a divorce, but she doesn't want to file it, and I believe God wants a divorce, and it would be unrepentant on my side to do, but it seemed like she wants to drag this along as long as she can. And if I should still try, or if it's pointless. Any advice?